Okay, write equations of parallel and perpendicular lines. The first one says write the equation line that is parallel to y equals -7 that passes through the point 7,5. So what I did was I went over to Desmos and I graphed the line y equals -7 and I plotted the point 7,5. Now, parallel means it has the same slope. This means this will also be a flat line. Well, what's the equation of the line that will go through there? Well, it's got to have the same y value all the way across. So that clearly has to be y equals 5. That one was straightforward. That one's I don't know what the rest of these are going to be like, but that one's pretty straightforward. Y equals 5. We'll see how complicated they get here in just a minute. Oh, this one's going to be harder. Write the equation line as perpendicular to y equals 7/5 x plus 6 that passes through the point 2, -6. Now, you can go to Desmos and graph this, but it's really not necessary. The big key here is understanding the relationships between the slopes of perpendicular lines. So here's my equation. Okay, so what's really the key to this problem is understanding that the slope of my line is 7/5. The slope of my perpendicular line is the opposite reciprocal. It's -5/7. Now, it doesn't say how to write the equation line, so I'm guessing you can write it in whatever form you want. But they wrote theirs in slope intercept, so we'll write ours in slope intercept. So it's y equals -5/7 x, and then I don't know what the b part is. Y equals mx plus b, right? I don't know what the b part is, and that's what this point helps me find, because what they've told me is what the y and the x are. Now, here's the thing. What you might notice is this is the reason why I think a lot of you won't like this, is this is going to end up fractional, because you're going to end up with -6 equals -5/7 times 2 plus b. And now we've got a fraction. So you have -6 equals -10/7 plus b. You're going to add 10/7, and that's going to be added to -42/7 because I got a common denominator. And that gives me -32/7 for b. And so my equation is y equals -5/7 x plus -32/7. Now, this is what I wouldn't, if I were you or me, if it was me, I would write this in standard form, because in standard form, when that's my slope, I write 5x, I write 7y, 5 goes here, 7 goes here, that's a negative, makes that a positive. And now I just plug in these numbers. 5 times 2 is 10, 7 times 6 is -42, 10 plus -42 is -32. Now, I don't know what forms Con will accept. I hope it accepts all of them. By the way, a third option would have been to write it in point slope form, which would have been y plus 6 equals -5/7 of x minus 2. Again, the 2 goes here, the -6 goes there, but because it's a minus, it becomes a plus. I don't know which one of those you think is easiest. I think either this one, wow, that was horrible, or this one are the easiest. So I don't know which one it'll take. Let's try 5x plus 7y equals -32 and see if it'll take it. Awesome. I don't know if it would have taken the other ones. Maybe we'll try that in a minute and see what the different forms it will take will do. Okay, this one's going to be just like the one we did just before. If you're parallel to x equals 8, if you go over to Desmos, x equals 8 is a vertical line. And so if you're wanting to hit the line that's -3, -2, then the vertical line has to do with the x value. It's going to be x is -3. That one's, anytime you're doing parallel lines, oops, I wrote that wrong. Anytime you're doing parallel lines when they're horizontals or verticals, they're pretty straightforward. So this is x equals -3. All right. Last one. Again, we're going to do we'll try it in a different form here. Okay, so here we go again. They want us to write the perpendicular. So if we're going to write the perpendicular, then what we know is my slope here, my slope is -1. My perpendicular slope then is +1, because this is 1 over 1, flipped over is 1 over 1, and it just changes the sign. So now I know my equation. Now, if you want to write this there's three forms. The easiest form might be point slope, So y plus 4 equals 1 times x plus 9. That would be point slope. Standard form would be x minus y, and then plug in the point. -9 minus -4 is -5. And then slope intercept would be y equals 1x plus b. And you have to plug in the points. So that'd be -4 equals -9 plus b. So 5 is b. So you get y equals x plus 5. So there are your three forms. 1, 2, 3. You could technically answer it anyway. We're going to try to answer it with this one this time and see if it'll accept it, because I honestly don't know. So y plus 4 equals 1 times x plus 9. Let's see if it takes it. Looky there.